Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and bring you insights that, well, actually work. Today we're getting into something super practical, really powerful actually, mastering English not just by working harder, but, working smarter.
Yeah, and this deep dive is pulling from some great stuff, basically distilled into 7 smart strategies for English mastery. Our goal here, for you listening, is to give you a real edge, like a way to feel more confident, make progress faster, and maybe even enjoy learning English more without all that usual grind. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Because look, this isn't about finding some magic wand, right? No effort-free shortcuts. It's more about these, incredibly effective methods backed by research that can genuinely change how you learn, shifting your approach, really. Optimizing things.
Exactly. It's funny. So many people, they just automatically think the only answer is more hours, more effort, more intense grinding away, especially with language. They think if they just push harder, results will pop out. And look, effort's vital, obviously. But if that effort isn't smart effort, progress feels glacial. You just burn out. It's like trying to run up an escalator that's going down.
Right. You're working hard, but getting nowhere.
Precisely. And think about it this way. This is a great analogy from the material we looked at. Imagine trying to fill a big bucket with water, but you've only got this tiny little teacup. So you're running back and forth, filling the cup, spilling a bit, getting exhausted. You're working so hard.
I can picture that. Very frustrating.
Super frustrating. But what if, instead of just running faster with a teacup, you found a bigger cup, a proper pitcher maybe? Suddenly, the same effort, maybe even less, fills that bucket way faster. That bigger cup. That's these smarter methods for English learning.
Well, okay. The bigger cup is the strategy.
Exactly. It's about being strategic, not just, strenuous.
Yeah.
The effort isn't gone. It's just redirected for way, way bigger impact.
I love that. A bigger cup for bigger impact.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. We've all felt like we're using a teacup sometimes, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that really sets us up for this first technique, the power of short bursts, which kind of goes against what many of us were taught. The idea that longer study sessions are always better. Sit down for 2-3 hours straight. But this suggests, nope.
It's true. It's surprising, but the research backs it up. Your brain actually holds on to more information when you learn in these short, focused bursts. So instead of that marathon 2-hour slog, break it down. Turn that 2 hours into, say, 4 sessions of 25 minutes each. And crucially, take a 5-minute break between each one.
Okay. 25 on, 5 off.
Yep. And those breaks aren't just, checking your phone breaks. They're vital. That's when your brain actually does the work. It uses that pause to save, organize, sort of file away the new stuff you just crammed in.
Okay. Consolidation time.
Exactly. Without those breaks, the new information can just feel like a jumbled mess. It gets lost. Those breaks are like the brain's little filing clerks getting to work.
That makes so much sense, especially with how our attention works now. I know I start drifting after about half an hour. So for you listening, just think about your next study session. How could you slice it up like that? That could be your first smart move right there. But I wonder, what's the common mistake people make when they try this? How do they mess up the breaks?
Oh, that's a good point. The biggest trap is not making the break a real break.
Yeah.
People check emails, scroll social media, start thinking about another task, stuff that's still demanding mentally.
Right. Still on.
Exactly. The key is true disengagement. Step away, walk around, get water, look out the window. Anything to let your brain actually switch off for those 5 minutes. It needs that moment to process and reset before the next burst. It's about switching off, not just switching tasks.
Disengagement, not just distraction. Got it. That's key. Okay, so you're doing these short bursts, you're taking real breaks, but what about boredom? How do you stop it feeling repetitive? Well, the next strategy, mix and match learning, seems designed exactly for that. It sounds way more dynamic.
It really is.
The idea is, instead of doing the same thing for ages, you shake it up within a session. There's a great example in the source material for 30-minute block. You could do 10 minutes listening, maybe a podcast clip or story. Then right after, 10 minutes writing just 2 or 3 sentences about it, what you heard, what you thought. And then the last 10 minutes, you actually say those sentences out loud. Talk about the story, maybe.
And the benefit there is huge. You're constantly switching gears in your brain, right? Listening comprehension, then writing, then speaking. It stops your brain getting tired or bored because it's always getting a slightly different challenge.
Keeps things fresh.
Totally. And you're hitting multiple skills. Listening, writing, speaking, all in one short session. It's much deeper engagement than just drilling one thing, like cross-training for your language brain. Builds all the muscles.
Cross-training for your brain, I like that.
And then, okay, you've mixed it up, you've engaged different parts. How do you make sure it really sticks? How do you know it? This leads to another really powerful idea, the teach-back technique.
Ah, yes, the old teach it to know it.
Exactly. It taps into that truth. You don't truly understand something until you can explain it simply to someone else. So the technique is, well, pretty straightforward. You learn something new, a phrase, a grammar point, whatever. Then you explain it out loud to a friend, family member. The source even suggests your pet. Doesn't matter who. The important part is explain it in simple English. Give a clear example and say why it's useful. That whole process forces you way beyond just remembering. You have to retrieve it, organize your thoughts, put it into words.
Yeah, it makes you process it actively.
Totally. It locks it into your memory much stronger, clarifies your understanding, and builds massive confidence for when you need to use it in a real conversation. You've already practiced explaining it.
That's actually brilliant for conversation practice because it mimics having to explain yourself on the spot. I know I've tried explaining things I thought I knew, only to find I couldn't quite articulate it. So, for you listening right now, think of something you learned this week. A word, a rule. How would you teach it back? Right now. Even just thinking through the simple explanation and an example that's starting the process.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on. There's this other strategy that's maybe more subtle but sounds really powerful for weaving English into just everyday life. Micro-shadowing moments.
Yeah, this one's clever.
Because shadowing often sounds like this big-time commitment, right? Repeating whole paragraphs.
It could feel daunting.
But this twist is genius. Just focus on 1 or 2 sentences. And do it in those tiny pockets of time you have all day. Like you're waiting for the kettle, shadow 1 sentence you heard earlier, walking to the bus stop, repeat a phrase out loud, brushing your teeth, say a new word.
Those little bits.
Exactly. It's about using those little moments that are usually just dead time, turning them into micro-learning chances. And these tiny, consistent bits, they add up. They really build fluency almost without you noticing the effort. It's like stealth learning.
It is stealth learning. It's all about consistency over huge chunks of time, making learning feel less like a scheduled task.
And speaking of unexpected times for learning, the next one is really fascinating. The sleep preview trick.
Okay, intriguing. Learning while you sleep.
Almost. The research suggests that doing a very quick review right before you sleep can seriously boost memory. And it's super simple, like 3 minutes. Just read over your notes, maybe say the new words once, picture yourself using them, and then go to sleep.
That's it, 3 minutes. That's it. Because the idea is your brain keeps working on that stuff while you rest. During sleep, especially certain stages, the brain is actively consolidating memories, strengthening the connections for things you thought about just before sleeping.
Wow.
It's like your brain's night shift crew comes in and files everything neatly so you recall it better the next morning. It just shows there's potential everywhere, even when we're resting. Learning doesn't just stop when you close your eyes.
That's incredible. Using sleep strategically. Okay, so we've got optimizing study time, daily routines, even sleep. But what about focus? I think a huge problem for learners is trying to fix everything at once. Grammar, vocab, pronunciation, speaking, listening, all of it.
Total overwhelm.
It's just too much.
Leads to stress, feeling like you're not getting anywhere.
Which brings us to a much smarter approach. The one focus rule.
This is key.
The idea is so simple, but probably really effective. Just choose one specific thing to focus on for a set time, like 1 or 2 weeks. You're not trying to juggle everything. The material gives examples like, week 1, nail the present perfect in speaking.
Okay.
Specific. Learn and actually use 20 new phrases. Week 3, just review the last 2 weeks. It gives you a clear target.
And the benefit is huge. That laser focus means faster progress in that one area because all your energy is going there. You're not spread thin.
Right. You see real improvement.
Exactly. Which builds way more confidence than feeling like you're sort of working on 10 things but mastering none. It cuts through that feeling of being swamped.
I definitely found that when I was learning Japanese. I was jumping all over kanji, grammar, speaking, felt like zero progress until I just picked one thing for a week or 2. Game changer.
Makes perfect sense.
And then, to make that focused effort even more effective and maybe more fun, the final strategy, gamify your learning.
Turning it into a game. Yep. Our brains just love games. It's how we're wired. So turning learning into one, super motivating. The suggestion is simple. Give yourself points for doing stuff. Watch an English video, 5 points. Speak for 5 minutes, that's 20 points.
Yeah.
And when you hit a target, maybe 100 points, you reward yourself. Something you actually enjoy just flips the script, turns learning from this, like heavy obligation into something fun, engaging, something you might actually look forward to doing.
Yeah, tapping into that reward system.
Exactly. It makes you think, how can you, listening now, make your English learning more enjoyable, more sustainable? How do you make it your favorite game?
That's such a great way to frame it. We track steps, calories.
Yeah.
Why not learning points? Adds fun, adds accountability. Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for your English journey? Let's just quickly run through those 7 SMART ideas again. Think of them like your toolkit for mastery. First, study smarter, not longer, with short bursts. Second, keep your brain awake with mixed activities. Third, really own what you learn with the teach-back technique. Fourth, sneak learning into your day with micro-shadowing moments.
Right.
Fifth, use your sleep, the sleep preview trick for better memory. Sixth, stop overwhelm, get focused with the 1 focus rule. And finally, make it fun. Gamify your learning.
Look, studying smarter doesn't mean you stop working hard. It just means you work better.
Yeah.
The real core idea here, I think, is that if you take just one of these strategies, just one, and actually try it today, you will feel a difference. It's about being intentional, making your effort count for more, not just putting in blind hours.
Absolutely. Imagine stacking these up over time. The cumulative power of these small, smart shifts. It's not just tips, it's a whole mindset change. So the question for you is, which single strategy are you going to pick? What will you apply today? How could that one small change start unlocking your English mastery, making it faster, more fun, and making it stick? Think about that ripple effect.